your finance.
We have a bill from Charlie for stacking it too.
Yep.
And a bill for,
Yeah, it's all done there.
so we can figure out where we're at before we actually go buy, see if we need to buy any more.
Looks like we have Doug, Kyle, and Sarah on. We'll be starting in just a minute.
Okay, so we have Kyle, Sarah, and Doug.
Yeah.
How's the snowstorm down there?
It's not yet.
Yeah, we got about an inch and a half here in Burlington.
Oh, you do? For real?
Yeah.
Wow, Burlington's good. We've got rain. It's cold, so it's probably gonna start turning over here pretty quick, but it's been just rain. Big fat raindrop. Heavy raindrops.
Well, watch your evening commute then on the way home.
Thank. All right.
Especially-
With that,
especially-
I'm gonna. What's that, Doug?
All set.
Sorry. Okay. With that, I'm gonna open the meeting for tonight. To start off with, first item on our agenda is public communications and comments, and we do have somebody here with a public comment.
But yes, I'm James Benson. My nickname is Jay. And we have a cabin up on Kennedy Road. And new person has just purchased some property up there named David Kerr. And then there's also Chris Ahern who bought our other cabin we have. And my concern is the road and the degradation of the road. And I'm not trying to change the classification in any way. I realize it's a class 4 road and the town is only responsible for ditching. What I want to propose here is I've spoken with both of these individuals, Chris and David, and we'd like to do a little work in the spring, early springtime on the road. And want to, make sure that I'm above board and compliant with whatever the town requires us to do. For us as landowners, this is not going to be nothing will be contracted out. So we're not going to be paying anyone. We're all landowners. It's going to be sweat equity on the town road. No bill's going to be submitted to the town. One thing I do want to ask of the town, and I've asked this of the town before, 3 years ago. And some of the town officers here were present when I requested that, and that was some bank run gravel to be delivered to the bottom of Kennedy Road, and the town agreed to do that in terms of like 16 yards. And that was the extent of what the town was going to commit to. So it would be up to us to move this material up the hill and put it where it needs to go. And I'm not talking about covering the whole road, just the bad parts, because I believe his name is Cheryl, is Joe Shattenberg, lives up there.
Yep.
He
hold on,
drives-
there's another individual.
He drives up and down on an ATV all year long. God bless. That's one rugged road and a rough place to live in the winter. But it does, in the spring when the frost is coming out of the road, these ATVs with chains tear them up a little bit. And the rocks, the ledge and stuff is slowly coming up higher because the media around the ledge is being moved away and washed down. So my objective is to build that up, that those areas around the ledge, remove some of the rocks and top back any of the brush and trees, not a lot, because I realize the town has a certain right of way. Just enough to, open it up a little, clean it up a little, a light buff and polish, And I'm willing to, I have a small excavator up there, a little 10,000-pound excavator. I can clean out the water bars while we're doing this work, which ideally is the town's job to keep the water bars and the drainage open on a class 4 road. But if the town were willing to, as they approved 2 or 3 years ago, the 16 yards of bank run gravel, just dump it off the side on Kennedy Road. We'll take care of moving the media, cleaning up the rocks, cleaning up the trees, cleaning out the water bars, cutting back the brush, any dead trees or anything. That's the extent of what I'm requesting permission from the town to do. So, I don't know where we go from here, but
Would we have to check with our insurance carriers? Not at all.
No.
People can volunteer to do the road.
Volunteers with your
I-
permission or something.
Thing, because you're just a resident up there and you're not gonna be you're not doing like a timber sale or anything like that. I don't see any convenience with it. I don't even think you really need to permit.
That's right. They're actually responsible for doing this work.
Hmm.
The town is not responsible for doing the work they're going to do.
The town is responsible for structures. Culverts.
Culverts and bridges.
But, yeah,
Would we have gravel
Yeah.
to support that?
Harvey's.
We would have to get it from Harvey's. What do we have? Do
we
we
still have some at the ball mill.
Do we have?
Drop a couple, is there room to drop a couple loads off this fall? Or is that where Joey goes?
Joe Shattenkirk parks up there. I think he pays somebody out of his personal money to plow.
Yep.
Right up to the first dog leg here.
Mhm.
So he can bring his car there and then he rides ATVs up and down. So if you did dump the gravel now, I think you would be hurting his.
Parking area.
Yeah. There is on the inside of the corner, we used to have a parking area there. So there would be room to dump it there. Off road, still within the town's right.
Cause there's
If you could do it before the snow floods.
approximately 12 dump truck loads over to the. No, there's more than that, like 15 dump truck loads over at the ball mill that needs to go somewhere. That would be a good,
Yes.
Good use
good
of that.
pound 2 or 3 loads in there or something like that.
Wonderful. Yeah, you could do that. I can't do anything with it till spring in terms of moving it. If you can get it.
It needs to go away from where it is right now.
What do you think of using Bull Mill gravel?
Well, yeah, I've helped on that road, some with Jay. Yeah, as long as it's like, it's not basketball stuff, it's
Reasonable.
That,
6-inch minus, 3-inch minus.
yeah, there'll be some bigger rocks in it, but there's a lot of
There is,
a lot of fines in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can be for that.
yep. So good.
Good use
I'd
of
like
that.
to put all of it up through there, but. I don't know how I'd get it up there,
Yeah,
and 1 ton at a time.
One ton of jerk one. Yeah, there's the upper section, above Jay's. With the culvert, there's a new culvert installed, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's really, really bony.
Where it goes in the front. Was it a new culvert or was it?
A new
Before
culvert,
the bridge?
a big one, above the bridges, above the 2 bridges, way up.
yes.
It's up beyond, Shattenkirk's.
Right. I remember going up in there to look at the culverts that was washed out.
That's right, that culvert.
Just before.
Wally's relation had a place up in there. On the left,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
are they still there or are they?
last time I drove up through there, they haven't been up at all this. Walt's passed away. Mr. Shattenkirk passed away. And I think they were somehow connected. Kind of like a homesteading primitive camping site.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen them up there at all this.
So who bought what? Well, one person bought a cabin off of you, and then what's the other?
That's
property?
correct. Chris Ahern bought the cabin that we bought from Gene Bagley, who used to own
Yeah.
And we bought an adjoining. So that cabin was on 16 acres, and then we bought an adjoining property of 4 acres. That's on Albee Brook. And we sold the cabin, the Bagley cabin, and the 16 acres to Chris Ahern, and we kept the adjoining property of 4 acres, and we built a new cabin on that.
And, David Burr, he bought Gail Webster's.
Say again?
David Burr bought Gail Webster's place.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I talked with David. He's a nice guy. His wife's name is Nelda.
Yep.
And they're up there quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they're interested in, at least David is, in helping. He's a younger guy. He's a carpenter. He oversees a youth group, carpenters, young carpenters, you know, like kind of like apprentices, I guess. And so, you know, he's interested in putting some skin in the game, so to speak, and Chris is as well. And it's just, I'm trying to coordinate everybody and make sure that it's good with the town and everything. And then we're gonna have some kind of like a work weekend, hopefully in like May, I'm thinking. I wanna do it before the bugs are out and the heat hits and everything, but after the frost is out, right? You
Sure.
can do it after the ground
Right.
settles
A little bit.
from the frost, so, that's my plan, to do it in the spring. But if you could get the media there, you know, just kind of keep it out of the way, so Joe Shanker can get around and, you know, you're on the, like on the inside of the first phone, there's an area, right? I would, I think.
Be suitable. I could
Yeah,
kind of pull up where he parks and back down on there a little bit. Okay.
I think, so. Yeah,
I'll look at it.
thank you.
That'll be no problem.
Appreciate it. So is there anything else that I need to do with the town at this
No.
point?
I think just, we can just stay in touch, and as you get closer to the date, if anything comes up.
All right.
You know, what might be helpful, Jay, is,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if there's any culverts up through there, is there?
Not that I know of, it's all water bars. The only culverts are where the Albee Brook crosses right there. There's a bridge, and before the bridge, there's a culvert. The culvert has washed out.
Well, if you need any culverts, if you think you want to put any culverts in, let us know.
I will, but I think water bars working pretty.
Okay.
And, can I get your number, Kenny, please?
But I don't know about that.
Number from media. You want my number?
No, it's 802.
Yeah.
349. 3676.
You think you can get it there before the snow flies?
Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna email these other guys and tell them status of, you know, this meeting, where we're at. And nothing's gonna happen for quite a while.
Great. Good plan.
Thank you for all the good work you do as town officers. I appreciate that, and, I will be heading north where the snow is for.
All right, sounds good.
That would be fine.
It might be not. Thanks
Thanks
for
for coming in.
Yeah. Great.
Yep.
All right. On that, approval of the agenda. Any questions or anything you want to add to the agenda? Move to approve it.
Make a motion for the agenda.
A second.
Yep.
All in favor? Agenda is approved. All right, town hall project update number 6. We've got the friends here on the line to do our project update. Let's turn the time over. Doug, are you there? I think you're muted.
I'm here. Thank you. And so just a quick update. Last week I sent the drawings off to the estimator and off to Paula at Historic for her review. I have not heard back from Paula. My guess is they had the day off today. I did hear back from the estimator. He's actually in the middle of estimating another fairly large project for us, and he thinks he's going to be able to get to this estimation in about 2 weeks. So he'd start not next week, but the week after to get us estimates. He thinks, it's a, 3-4 days max for him to estimate this project. So we'll have something before Thanksgiving from the estimator to be able to tell us whether or not we're going to hit a budget that is comfortable, and what we might want to do about it. I wanted to briefly go through the drawings, and then I'm going to send them out to you guys, but this will be an overview. And if you have any questions as we go through, great, you can ask. I'll try to answer them. But you're not going to be able to delve into details too much tonight. And that's why I want to send them to you in case there's specific things anyone's interested in. Ken might be interested in, like the road, the driveway stuff and things like that. So first page, just an overview, has the code, abbreviations, pretty picture.
Are
There's
you sharing?
oh, sorry, I forgot to share. Yeah, let's share first. I could see it.
It's half the battle.
You're right. There we go. Now, can you see the plans?
Yes.
Okay, great. So front page, pretty quick. The next page is just an overall site plan. Doesn't really show much. What I did want to point out here is what we're doing to the parking lot. We zoom in here. Oops, it jumped. So there's a dotted line that goes through here that's sort of the existing edge of grass. I'm assuming that the grass has encroached over the gravel over the years. And so we've just drawn a line that would be, I can't remember how many parking spaces it is, 12 parking spaces, I think it is, that looks like it was the original intent. And the idea would be that they just sort of add a little topping and scrape back the grass to get back to that size. And then we'd pave the 2 handicap spaces here. One van space is a little wider than the car space. And then that's all asphalt. And then the asphalt walk that ties into the existing walk that comes down through here. That's the existing sign, existing well. The other thing that happens on the site is we're extending this front granite out about 15 inches. So that leaves, right now there's, it's 11 feet across here. And so it leaves about 4 feet of walk that goes through. It's 11.5 feet, that's right. So it leaves about 4 feet of walk that goes through. And then the new ramp will also have a solid landing here. The existing ramp, it's moved over time. So we want to give it a foundation at the bottom end too, so it doesn't move. And then on the back, there'll be a foundation under the addition for the stair, and a gravel pathway that's, we made it 6 feet wide. So you can run a plow up there. If the finished surface is 6 feet wide, there's another, foot of gravel on either side under the grass, under the topsoil. That's just the way we do these things, so that so you got 8 feet of width to run a truck up through. And it's going to be frozen in the winter anyway, we hope. So that should do that. And then there'll be a couple of details here showing the walkway and sidewalk construction. It's a demolition plan, floor plan. This is where we are now. We're relocating these pews in order to get the door in for the exit. We are cutting the existing flooring for the new lift and for the new stair. And since we're cutting into the existing structure, this in the interior, which I wasn't really planning on when I gave my proposal, I was thinking everything was going to be outside. So we've called the structural engineer. He's been down to the site. He's looked at the existing structure, which is a lot of logs. I don't know how, if any of you have looked under the floorboards, but everything seems to be built with logs. A lot of them still have bark on them.
Okay.
And they're about 30 inches on center. That's why the floor feels a little soft. So when we cut into these two areas, we're going to have to do some reinforcement and support that. So the idea is to then go back and in the end have a floor that looks very similar to what you have now, but is going to be a little better supported. We're hoping not. He hasn't done his calculations yet, but I'm hoping that we don't have to take up the whole floor, rebuild it from the top, and put down a new floor. That would be extremely expensive. The other thing I've noticed is there's a dozen pews or so that are broken. So we're going to get some salvaged material when we move these, but I was hoping to use those in the new location. So we're going to have to come up with some cost to, if this has got to meet ADA, it also has to be safe for anyone else too. So we want to repair those pews as well. Handrails have to go in. Go ahead.
One of our guest speaker here that just left has they're tearing a church down somewhere, and he has pews available.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'll ask him. Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's have them send us pictures. The pews in here are pretty unique. Looks like they were built in place, but you never know. So that might work out. When we get downstairs, the front lobby, the stair gets extended closer to the door. There won't be a door at the bottom, and this wall becomes fire rated in order to separate the assembly area downstairs from the assembly area upstairs and provide exits from both. One thing we just came across is that typically a lift requires a pit. The lift I'm looking at only needs a 3-inch pit, and instead of providing a pit which would cut into this existing floor system, which has already been rebuilt, there's enough room in here to actually make a 3-inch tall ramp over 2 feet and then the 5-foot landing at the top. So what I'm planning on doing is just overbuilding on top of this floor with poplar or birch painted to match the floor that's out there. Probably run it the opposite way so it looks new and different for the historic folks. And that way we don't have to cut into this floor level. And it's still very usable and it's not a tripping hazard. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. I see a problem here. The ramp somehow got stretched too far. The bottom of the ramp is actually going to be right off the corner of the building like it is now. I think I see what he did because that's up a step too high. I got it. All right. I see how to fix it. Oops, where are we going? Jumped again. There we go. That's what we want. So the exterior, we've got details through all the framing and everything. I'm not planning to heat the new stairwell on the back, but I am going to insulate it so that it's tempered, and it'll be insulated per code, which is now R60 in the ceilings, and got some rigid and stuff in the exterior walls. So it'll even why did that jump? Even though it's unheated there, it'll still maintain a tempered condition because it has that big heated wall. Yeah, I'm not sure we need to. You can see that the back is pretty much like we talked about. Sarah or Paula's comments from her first review were to make this not look the same detailing as this, to just simplify it. So it's a simple form, easier to build, less cost as well, probably. Here's our new ramp and new stair. We're extending this out, as I said, 15 inches. I think it's 14 inches. If we do 14 inches, we can take this bottom step, move it up 1, take the middle step, move it up 1, and then put the bottom step here with a one larger piece instead of having to buy multiple pieces of stone. So I'll end up having to buy basically 3 pieces of stone, one at the top, one here at the bottom, and then one on this side to fill in underneath the ramp.
The top becomes one piece.
The top
One
will have a joint, but the whole thing's going to be on a concrete foundation now, so it won't
Yeah.
tend to move. It'll be on a frost wall.
Yes.
So there will be a joint. I'm not sure whether we'll put the joint out at this edge. I was thinking we'd put it back near the building, be a little less likely to move over time. And we can pin. Nice thing about granite is you can pin and epoxy it together like a countertop, even outside, and it stays that way, as long as you're not driving on it. One question we're working on with Paula is whether or not the existing front door is historic. I looked at it and it looks to me like something that might have been installed in the 80s. And so I want to know if anyone in the town has any recollection of replacing this door ever. Or is it
No.
40 years old or is it 140 years old?
140 years old because it was there in the 80s.
It was there in the 80s.
The original old.
An oak door.
Yep.
It's an oak door. Because
Yeah.
right now it's starting to
And-
rot. There's some rot in it.
Yeah.
So the reason that came up is that if it's an historic door, then we can't, Paula will not let us change it to the one wide, one small that I was hoping to do. And so that's why it's still shown as the existing door here. That's going to add cost because because the existing doors are too small for a wheelchair. So that would require us to have the automatic push button so that someone coming up the ramp would hit the button, the doors would open. We would also then, we'd also take the ramp and we'd move it out flush with the front of the step so that it would, there'd be room for the door to swing open and not block the ramp.
So the condition of the door, you said it has some rot in it and
Mhm.
things. Can do like an assessment on that to see if we can condemn it
Mhm.
and put a new door in.
Well, that might happen. It wasn't a lot of rot when I saw it, but I didn't really poke at it a lot. So what I think we could do a little more investigation on that. One more step. The rot's just along the bottom, and so theoretically you could just replace that bottom piece with another piece of oak, and the rest of the door stays. But so that's a discussion with Paula, and we can get as many of us involved in that discussion as you want.
Okay.
I'm going to see what she comes back with her review this time too. There are sections where, because of the historic renovation stuff, the interior railing is also part of that. We're going to salvage the railing from the stair we're removing, salvage the balusters, and rebuild using the existing handrail, existing post, but raise it up about a foot off the floor so it meets current code. So it'll be up on a little stub wall. The rest of the railings, there are railings that have to be on either side going up to the raised area in the back, the choir loft or whatever it was in those days. And those will be wood. The handrails going down the stair, the new stair, and the handrails in the new rear stair, I'm planning on welded steel for longevity. Those are the ones that are more critical for loading. The This is a section through the new stair. At the moment, we're looking at a block frost wall underneath the stair. And as I said, the insulation, showing the insulation wrapping all the way around. There will need to be a railing coming out on this side because I was planning on leaving that open. So that's just a section through that, showing that railing. Window and door schedule. That one window is 310 by 68 window, 40 by 610 rough opening. That one new window we're putting in the back. So it's one big window, and I'm planning on making that a clad wood window, aluminum clad window. So you don't ever have to paint that one. The rest of them you'll still maintain. And then for the siding on the new addition, I was thinking of cementitious, basically hardy clapboard. We've had good luck. I did a house about 30 years ago with hardy, and they haven't painted it yet. So seems to hold paint really well.
I prefer the Cortison.
Hmm.
I prefer the Cortison original clapboards. They're relatively available.
I'm sorry. What can you spell what you're saying?
Ward's Lumberyard in Moortown makes the exact clapboard that's on the building.
Oh, and
Yep.
is it a spruce clapboard?
It's Cortison. It's identical what's on the building.
Okay.
We can get the same
Okay.
reveal.
Okay.
If that's pre-stained well, I mean, if it's pre-primed well and
Yep.
first coat or
Okay.
before it goes on, saves
I can do that.
basically saves a lot of labor if it's done on the ground. And yeah, we'll get a pretty good longevity out of it.
I took all the paint off of the spruce siding on my 130-year-old house, painted it about 15 years ago, and it's still fine. So I agree. Old siding treated well, or new siding treated well, it's going to work well.
Great.
I can do that. And then the last page is the structural, it's a structural schematic for the estimator saying that, yeah, we have to reinforce the floor under the lift. And then we've got to cut the floor. Oops, didn't get the lift cut in there, but they'll figure that out. We'll have real structural drawings when the structural engineer is done, but this was somewhat quick I threw together so he could understand what the existing framing was that he was dealing with. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm calling these drawings about 90%. There's also a spec. I've done a full spec. That's also, I'd say, about 90% done. And I can share that with you if you like to. And I can even make the quarter sawn change on the siding before I set it out. So any other questions or concerns?
5/4 on the quarter boards.
Yeah, 5/4 on the corner boards. We've actually been using a composite that that's not a plastic. And because one of the things, corner boards seem to be one of those things that rot sooner than the siding. End grain at the bottom sucks up moisture and stuff. So I don't know if you're against using a composite there. Boral is the name of the product that we've been using.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Yep. Fine.
Okay, good. So we'll use that for the trim. The exterior stair door, I was going to do that as a insulated fiberglass door. This existing door I was going to leave as is. And then the only other interior, we have an interior door here. It'll be a 4-panel door to match the other, as well as the elevator doors. And then this big door down here that we have to change to fire rated will also do as a 4-panel. So it matches your existing doors in look, unlike the flush fire door that they put in over here.
Is there any glass in those doors?
I have not put glass in those doors.
Yeah, we talked about that early on. I guess if the egress, if you're leaving the building,
Yeah,
that stairwell area is really dark.
yeah.
Is there-
Well, it's got the big window in it, but we could,
Yeah, that's I'm trying to get caught up with that. There's a window right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
window right in the middle here.
Yeah, we should be fine then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And hopefully there's a light that'll come on automatically, no switch.
Mhm.
Stair too. All right. So I'll send these out. I had some other red lines on here that I'll do before I send it out too, and let you have a look while everybody else is looking at it. And I'm sort of hands off until I hear back from the estimator and Paula.
The railings on the front stairs.
Yes, yeah. It was a close up. Actually, zoom right in here. Easiest way. So the ramp comes up and the railing will turn and run straight down. So this corner is sort of unusable as an exit. And then we're required to have 2 railings on this stair because of the size. So I was going to run the other one diagonally, so you can
Yeah,
come out.
wrought iron railing.
I was definitely doing them in metal. Haven't come.
So Wildflower out of Middlebury.
Wildflower.
Wildflower out of Middlebury. Yeah, he does a really nice job. He's just one man show, but he does all of the historic stuff in Middlebury.
Okay, great. Haven't run into him yet.
John. His name John. First name's John.
Just like the guy up in Stowe who does all their metal work. His name's John too.
Yeah, let me.
Wait, Sarah, do you have a question?
Yeah, thanks. Oh,
We can hear you.
Okay.
Mobile number for John is 989-6549.
Got it.
And it's wild FLWR at gmail.com .net. I guess we can just forward this, huh? It's John Baker.
There we go. Thank you. Okay, I think I got it all. Great.
Yeah, okay.
Before
Sarah,
you
can you
hop
hear
off.
us?
Yeah, thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Doug. Before you hop off, I wanted to
Yep.
talk through some administrative stuff. So, first of all, right now the contract with GVV runs through December 15th. Does it feel like that's a reasonable deadline at this point, or are we going to need to look at an extension?
Yeah. So on December 15th, if that's the deadline, you would be having a set of drawings that you could put out to bid. That's the goal of the contract, right? And then you take it from
Correct.
there. Yeah.
Correct. And there's only one more select board meeting before that time.
Right. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that time frame as long as I get my estimators done and you approve that. So that may be the glitch, as if
Okay.
that comes back real high and we need to make some modifications. So
Okay. Well, the select board meets on the 8th, I believe. So if need be, we can work on an extension at that meeting.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good to know. And then I was wondering, Doug, if you could send me a copy of your drawings that includes the property line on them, because I want to make sure
Mhm.
that I'm talking with the state about any structures that are going to be off the property line. And it's looking right now like maybe the parking spaces in the back gravel walkway are going to be off?
Nope. Well,
No?
I've just shared again with, or gone back
Okay.
to the property line, and the
Yeah.
property is quite large.
Okay.
Um,
No, it's my understanding that
are there two lots here?
there's two. Can Kelly or anybody from the town, can you confirm where that
There are two
property
lots?
line lies?
Yeah, I see it. This is listed here. Hang on. This says 0.3 acres on that lot and
Right.
2.5 acres here.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not sure where that property line changes.
Okay. If you could get that mocked up
Mhm.
on one of your drawings, that'd be super helpful just to make sure that we've got all our I's dotted and T's crossed.
So the town owns all of it?
Yeah.
Is that
Why-
issue?
Right. Yep. The town owns it all. But the state needs to make sure that any structures that are happening off the property have the right environmental clearance. And so I believe that the archaeologists only looked at the tight parcel just around the buildings. I don't know that they actually looked just, just immediately outside of the parcel. We have extra budget. We could ask them to do that. But I need to know where the line falls.
Yeah.
That's where I'm fuzzy on that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it may come between the parking lot and the building.
Mhm. So we'll work on that.
I'll look at the data. It was on the, I think we got this off of the Vermont database, the GIS.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Okay. And then Doug had also contacted me earlier today to request an increase to the budget because of the elevator issue and needing to reinforce the structure to accommodate the elevator. His engineering subcontractor is going to need some additional budget. And so we talked about it this afternoon, and it sounds like we're looking at about a net increase of $5,000 to the total project amount. We are waiting on the revised proposal from the subcontractor. So I don't have like documents to put in front of you right now. We're waiting on the final proposal, but I wanted to let the select board know, and I wondered if we could maybe have a resolution to increase the budget, even though I don't have the actual contract amendment ready for you to sign this evening. That could be something that Kelly could sign later. I crunched the numbers to make sure that that wasn't going to hurt us. And because we've come in under budget for a number of our other deliverables, we're doing okay. And that project, that contract increase with GVV would still keep us well under our approved total grant amount from VCDP. So we're talking about a budget increase. The current contract is at $23,000. We're looking at a budget increase to $28,000, I'm guessing, although it's not clear whether the $500 in, there's some additional like $500 in reimbursable costs that I'm trying to figure out if that would be tacked on to the price. We're waiting on that, again, that revised proposal from the subcontractor. So potentially up to $28,500. And again, moving up to that amount is still going to keep you well within your grant budget, and we'll have extra money left over if we need to do some additional archaeological work. So that's a question for select board, how you'd like to deal with that.
That seems reasonable for,
It does, but I'd like to see it in writing.
yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
like
me
to see the
too.
difference.
right.
Yeah.
We still haven't answered the environmental issue with the tank,
With the tank.
so we don't know about that cost.
Right.
Right. So last time we had talked about the tank, my understanding was that select board wanted to push that off until the spring. That's at least what my notes were from that meeting. That's something that we can reopen. I'm expecting that cost would be substantial. It might even be more than you have left in your grant, quite frankly. It would be something that we might have to apply. As I mentioned it our last time we discussed this, I think that's something we'd probably have to apply to the state DEC for financial assistance to help with, which would be outside of this.
Because there's an email that we've received from the state, Sarah, they wanted. It looks like they want an answer.
Okay. That's
And if we don't have,
interesting. Okay, that's interesting.
I gave you a copy here.
is it their, approved conditions? Is it that email?
Yep, that one, environmental review, approved with conditions.
Yeah,
They want to know where we are.
Could you send me that email, Cheryl? I'm a bit surprised because normally phase ones are not submitted to DEC. To my knowledge, that phase report was not submitted to DEC. So I'm wondering if it's coming from a different agency than the brownfields section.
Okay, because it was sent to you on Thursday, November 6th at 5:19 a.m. along with Tony and myself.
Yep.
And everybody else in the state. From
and it's for the environmental
grants,
review.
from the grants.
What are? Okay.
Is this the email that says environmental review approved with conditions?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that was an automated email from Gears. And what it's effectively saying is, as you complete the various analyses, upload documentation to Gears to show us what you've done. So, and there isn't really a timeline on that. Otherwise they would have given us a deadline. This is just sort of a reminder that, they do want to hear about our progress as we're going along. And the conditions that were in that letter did not include the phase one report. So the state was really only worried about historic resources at the time. We're doing the phase one anyway, because if you apply for an implementation grant, that's going to become an issue. So we're trying to jump the gun a bit. But in terms of the conditions that we actually have to report back on, it's really the historic resources that we're going to have to focus on. Does that help at all?
Says we have to reply within 18 months. Should we at least say that we're holding off until spring? At least let them know where we are in our thought process.
I don't see any note there about you have to reply within 18 months. I see that the letter was approved with conditions 18 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm happy to upload stuff to Gears.
I think we're okay.
I just don't want it
Yeah.
to get tall.
Yeah, I think we're, I just think that, separately. I guess my understanding is that the issue with the tank is separate from what's been submitted so far. Is that
Right, so the issue with the tank is a separate investigation, which is being paid for by the same grant so far. But the tank is not on the list of conditions that the state is specifically asking about in this email. So it's supplemental to it. I think the amount of money that it would require to continue that investigation, which we would have to do, is going to be more than your grant can support. So that's why I had mentioned earlier about needing to do a separate application for funding assistance from DEs.
Kind of separate, so
Yeah.
we should investigate
a separate
where
grant?
the numbers are and where fundings are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
But to your point, Cheryl, I'm happy to upload reports to Gears.
Yeah, I think we're,
Is that tank currently still being used?
No, the issue is the environmentalists that came in to do the inspection for the project,
Mhm.
for both projects. We need to find out if it's there or not.
Before we can get an approved plan.
The main building is oil, isn't it? There's tanks in the basement.
We have the tanks, but when this was a school, there was a buried tank right outside that window right there behind the.
And we don't know if it's there.
We don't know. We have no record, no signed documentation saying that it's removed
Yeah, okay.
Right.
and part of that environmental thing. So if we have something we can submit, like that phase 1 environmental report, if that's available,
Hmm.
that should at least go on. And maybe it is stop
Giving
giving these,
updates.
yeah.
Mhm.
Anything else? Even still there?
I don't know, again, because the environmental review letter with the conditions did not include the phase 1 as a specific requirement. I don't know that there's actually going to be like a place on Gears that I can upload the report to. So I think it may just have to sit on the shelf until we're ready to move on that. Because the state won't be asking about it anyway until the actual CDBG planning grant closes out.
So, I mean, can we get an approved plan without addressing the buried tank?
So you are not going to be able to get an implementation grant, in other words, construction money, until you address the tank issue.
But we can get an approved plan without moving forward. So we can finish this
Correct.
phase.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
I just want to make sure we're able to finish this phase by December, if possible. And then we can address in the springtime a separate project to look at that before we, because it won't be immediate. It'll be some time before we're able to find funding for the project itself. So I would
request-
assume it's not break ground on next year.
That,
Yeah.
oh,
Do you think we find some funding that quickly for the ADA accessibility?
yeah, it's hard to say with
Yeah.
administration.
So I'd say it'd
problems.
be a year or two at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so we'll have time if we can have that discussion in the spring for a summertime project next year to address any other environmental concerns before we move towards approval for construction. I think that's fine. We have
Okay.
time. We're good. No need to worry. I think.
Then if we have to remove the phantom tank, if it is in fact, so but not really that big of an issue, you said the contract. Remove any contaminated soil, we can fill the hole back in.
Yep. Before we, right.
So Dundon can locate that for us, and identify what it is, without digging it out?
Okay. Yeah, for a reasonable price.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then if we need to dig it up, then we'll figure that out.
Well, that's, if any digging done, there has to be oversight and soil inspections all at the same time. That's something to be coordinated.
Yeah.
But at least we can identify if it is or is.
It was hard for me to hear that. Sorry. Can you give me the thumbnail sketch?
Yeah, just that there's a contractor we can work with to come and do, to look, to see if there's a tank to be located officially. And then if there is, then we can move forward with the thing.
Right, without digging, they have probes and they also have electronics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I would be very careful about even putting probes down in the soil. But yeah. DEC is pretty particular about, like you said, making sure the soils are all tested and taken care of. But if you can like do some detection above ground to figure out if a tank is there, that would certainly be helpful. Okay, that's great. Thank you. So in terms of increasing the contract, how does the contract amount, how does select board want to handle that? Do you want to have a vote tonight and then Kelly signs later? What do you think?
I think that we need to see the total in writing and kind of the breakdown of it. So I'd prefer to get something, I think that I mean, if it's still within budget, we don't necessarily have to have a vote, but we should have a consensus so that we can all review it and say it sounds good. It looks like it's in budget.
Yeah, you should think proposal, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
so
want
I
to
know,
the increases. I want to kind of see how it's mapped out versus what we've already approved.
yeah, for sure. So I know that the next select board meeting is December 8th, and if we wait till then, that's gonna put us way over schedule, because that's gonna hold Doug's team up. So what do you think?
I don't think we need to wait until then. I think we just need to see it and maybe over the next week we can review and come to a consensus on, yeah, that sounds okay. If it looks like it's too much or it's going over budget, I mean, we need to assess what
Hmm.
our cost is.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Yep, that sounds good. So
We
I
don't
will
have
get
that exact-
you. Oh, sorry, I cut you off. Say it again.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so as soon as we get the revised subcontractor proposal, I will get that to you along with the revised budget breakdown so you can see how everything is shaking out. And then let me know how you'd like to proceed and if we're good to go. Okay?
That would be great to see. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So then the only other, and Doug, I think those are all the questions I had
Mhm.
for you. I don't know if anybody else has questions, but I don't want to keep you. I have one more administrative thing for the board as a whole.
Can I get back to the site plan for just a second? I
Yeah.
just drew a red line on what the GIS shows for a property line.
Okay.
And I also looked back at the previous drawings for the school, and it shows that this property line on the north side, it has a dimension of 174 feet, and we get 305 from the GIS. So, and it doesn't show these property lines at all on that. So I'm wondering, is there a survey at the town that none of us have seen yet that might be better information?
Have one. Yeah, we have one. Cheryl, can you send it over in the next day or two?
I'll do my best to put one
Excellent.
together.
Okay.
Great.
Cheryl says that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Doug.
That'll do it for me tonight. Thank you very much.
Take care, Doug.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I will share the contract information. Hopefully I'll have that tomorrow, and I'll
Yep, that's
Awesome.
good.
send it off. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Doug.
Yeah. Good night.
All right. And then I've just got one more thing for the board. I'm sorry I don't have video tonight. I've got low bandwidth on my internet at home. So one of the commitments that the town made when you first got the CDBG grant is to contribute a certain amount of match time, which we monetize, right? And so you have to have a 10% match on the grant. And we've been monetizing your time at select board meetings and any other time you've reported to me reading stuff outside of select board meetings. So the grant is $60,000. That means a $6,000 commitment in match time. We're very low on that end of things. And so we've got to figure out if we can make it and how we can make it. I've never had a town before that's been in a situation where they didn't actually meet their match. So I don't know what happens. I don't know what the penalty is from the state if we don't meet that match amount. But I crunched some numbers today, and we are about, that is the wrong spreadsheet. There we go. So we are about $3,600 short at this point. We're coming up to the end of the project. If we're just, I can put a generous like hourly rate, as it were, for select board. I have to use the lower rates that are actual the pay rates for Cheryl and for Nancy, so that they're not racking up match time quite as quickly, unfortunately. But if you break down that $3,600 into like just hours that you 3 select board members would work, that's about 18 hours per person. That's a lot of time. Obviously it's going to be lower because Cheryl and Nancy will be putting some time in, but it won't be as much. So here's what I'm thinking. there are a number of reports that have been produced so far, right? There's the archaeology report, there's the historic architecture report, there's the phase 1 brownfields report, and now we've got all these construction documents, which have been updated, and Doug's going to be sending those shortly. I'm hoping that each of you can put in some time reviewing those. You can bill generously,
Yeah.
as it were, right? When you're reporting your time for that, that's fine.
I would say the thing, so when those drawings get delivered, we have a plot printer for full-size drawings that we can print out at my home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so we have a full set of really real drawings.
Okay.
And then I would suggest after that, then we pick another time and we do some review time with drawings in hand,
Yeah.
walk around the building. Maybe throw some stakes in the ground.
Do you want me to bring my metal detector?
Yeah, I've got one too.
Yeah, let's bring
Yeah,
our metal.
we can just do kind of a site visits plural.
Yeah.
As part of that.
I think that's a good idea. I question if there's a whole lot that we've been able to do other than review what comes to us via email. So it's kind of difficult to make work,
With these drawings, we'll be able to do.
Yeah, we'll be able to, yeah.
We can get samples, I'll go to Moortown and get clapboard samples, if there's any other samples,
Yeah.
I can acquire samples.
Okay.
Once we have these drawings and the specifications,
Yeah.
we can come up with samples and review samples, colors, paint stuff, and just make notes on just the project as a whole.
It would also be good, I think, that if we three went through the pews, because if there's pews that need to be restored or that can't be restored, do we need that many pews? Could we pare down the number of pews and maybe do
I'm
something?
gonna send text right now to Jay, because there's a church that there's some available. He was trying to.
That's what I'm thinking. If we were to pare down what we have up there and augment with something different in another area, would we be able to do that if it's?
I think there were some salvage.
There are. Yeah, the salvage.
Yeah,
They've got a lot of pews.
church members.
Mhm.
Yes.
Windows, stained glass windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could find that, but I think that's something too that we could definitely look at. And even if it's an assessment of like, well, there's, if we were to bring together what we have, maybe we remove a couple and we create more space there or whatever, you know what I mean? So just do a real good assessment of what we're working with up there now that we have the drawings and we can kind of envision it a little bit better, knowing what's being removed and what's being changed.
Yeah.
I think we have more to work with now than we have in the past, not really
Yeah.
knowing potential.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. That sounds great. If you need me to be present in any of those meetings to like take notes and communicate them back to GVV or whatever, let me know. If you can bring others into the room to help and help rack up time, that would be great as well, right? So Bruce has said that he's interested in maintaining contact with the project. Maybe he'd be available. I know I've recorded some of Mark's time in previous select board meetings. Maybe Mark would come back. If you have some other volunteers in town who could help, that'd be great.
I think we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right. Well, let me know how I can help and support on that. And I think that's it from me, unless anybody has any questions or concerns for me.
No.
Okay. All right. Well,
Great,
thank you all so much for your time. Take good care.
Thanks, Sarah. You get better.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, Kyle's on too. Do we want to jump in with Kyle really quick?
Yeah, let's get them out of the way.
Kyle, are you there? Do we have a printout for
I'm
us?
here. Hello, everyone.
Hi there. Haven't talked for a while.
Yeah, sorry, I got bumped. I don't know, with the transitions, I lost the audio, so I left the meeting and restarted. Now it's back, so we're good to go.
Very good.
So in early October, the Planning Commission held a hearing for the draft bylaws, and you'll recall about mid-October, I sent it over to the select board. And so now essentially the select board just has to hold a hearing on those, and then they can be adopted at any public meeting following the hearing. The draft is pretty much the same as what had been sent to the select board last spring. I cleaned up a little of the language in the exemption section just to align better with the DEC model bylaw, but they're exemptions, so it's just things that are already exempt from flood hazard permitting.
Okay.
Um,
Would we
but-
be able to hold a hearing in advance of our next select board meeting? So we are all there together, or do we have to do this separate? Like, would we be able to do that and then at the select board meeting adopt it?
Yeah, so the hearing can happen before the select board meeting. It can, I mean, judging from the turnout at previous hearings, I don't expect anyone to show up. So you'd essentially hold the hearing, you open it, accept public comment, and then when all public comment is over, you close the hearing, and then start the select board meeting, and you'll just have an agenda item in the meeting on, vote to adopt the draft flood regulations. It would have to be, just given the need to do a hearing notice and posting and make sure all documents are in the town office. It can't be too soon, just because we have to get the notice to the paper and it's a weekly. And there's a 15-day period that it has to be posted for. So, I guess
we do December 8th.
December 8th, and today's the 10th.
Yep.
So the notice would go in the 20th, which is within that 50. Yeah, that would work for a December 8th meeting.
If we were to do like a 5:45 hearing, allow a half an hour for that hearing, it probably won't be a half an hour, it'll be 15 minutes. We'll probably start our select board meeting on time.
Mm-hmm.
Do that. 5:45.
Fine.
Then we'll just pick up I think we've all reviewed it. Do you recall reviewing it? Do you recall, Mike?
Yep.
So we don't really have any updates to it. I think it's great. I think at this point, we're excited to get it moving. So that'll work for us. We'll aim for getting the hearing posted, doing everything that we did last time, making sure it's a separate event.
Mm-hmm.
We have plenty of time to warn this and everything, and we can just do it all on that one day.
Great.
That works for us.
Okay, and then I can coordinate with you and Cheryl. I can draft up the hearing notice, send it over. It'll need the Zoom information or the WebEx information to be included. So I'll just need that from you both. But I'll work on that this week and then make sure it gets to the paper. By Friday. But essentially, when I send you the hearing notice, it'll only have maybe one or two, like, hey, look at this, and I need that WebEx link. So it shouldn't be a big ask to.
And we can get the WebEx link cut tonight before we go and send it your way, just so we can have something to use. That's fine. It's gonna be like 5:45 on the 8th. We'll set up for 5:45 on the 8th.
Awesome.
That sounds great, Kyle. Thank you.
Yep, and I think that's everything. I can send everything else in writing in terms of what's needed to be available in the town clerk's office prior to the hearing, just for viewing and whatnot. Draft of the bylaw and other materials. So
Okay, sounds good.
that's everything.
Awesome.
Great.
Cool.
All
Thank you
right.
very much. Good to see you.
Yep.
Right.
You too. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Here we go. Yay. Okay, where's the, oh, I'm writing on the back of it. Next up, our financials. Let's take a look at the financials. We have a financial. All right. Take a chunk of payment orders here. If you want to start looking at those, Mike will get moving around in each direction. Hold on. Source. Station. All the signal. Mountain color. River. No. Zero.
Because we've got 304 on this.
You don't have it.
Current, that's one of the
Somehow.
Yeah, I'm looking on. Remember when you hear us talking about how it's not a number?
You see fiber.
So I just stick with the wrong on, so save it.
Color.
Okay. So now if you go through.
Current discussion. Is Greg Miller the lawyer?
No,
Greg
it's,
Miller.
Michael Terrence, the attorney, and I sent him email about doing the tax sale on Stickney. He'd get back to me for like a week and a half, and then get back and said he'd been sick for a week or whatever, and he would get back to me by the end of last week, which he did not.
He did not, okay.
But also Cheryl got notice that they're raising their rates even more, so I think it's gonna be $2.15 an hour or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
What is it
wait
now,
A little
two?
bit longer for him to get back to me, because like every time I email him, he charges us like $50.
I know, let him get back to you. Get back to, I know, I mean, we wanna move on it, but it's, it's not like if we just started. We have oh, that's in there, 7:15. Wait a second. We have an invoice from Sharon. Oh, wait, we've got a few invoices from Sharon, but there's only a 7:15 on here, is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
they're just,
because they're still pay this time, but I just ran a report so you can see where we are, which is, so you would know why I was saying we're not gonna be finished within the amount of money that.
I understand.
And I just, like I said, I don't think it's prudent to stop midstream and go, okay. we just don't-
No, no, I think we didn't really pick up last year's, so it's kind of all this year. And I think that if you could send us all an update of what you believe like, where you're gonna feel good about, if you can say this is about where we're gonna end up on an expense, that would be helpful.
Okay.
So we can see that.
Said,
Yeah.
you probably have a better idea than I was.
That's great. Yeah, I think that's right. If before we were talking about 2,500 last year, about 5,000, and you think it's gonna be
Well, I think we had
62
talked
or
about
something.
2,000 last year, 2,500
this year.
45, and you can see from the report.
Okay. Total?
No, we're at like 4.
Yeah, okay. That's almost where we thought it was gonna be, like total, which is good. It just depended on the timing, and the timing started a little bit late.
Yeah.
And so I think going forward, if she says, well, I think we need another 40 hours or something, like, let's talk about that,
Okay.
Yeah,
just.
we wanna make sure we understand.
She's finding, she's gone through all the accounts and whatever. Had to straighten out a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in here that's double numbered, so it gets, and so the thing is, like I said in the email, if we don't complete it, you're still never gonna have an accurate.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, that's what, she's training, and she's
Yeah.
helping us make sure that our accounting is clean. So going forward, you don't have the same headaches and stressors that keep rearing their heads, And I think that there's value in making sure that that's completed. A lot of value in that, so.
Is there, on that report, is there an invoice, is there on the invoice, check this month for Werba, because I don't see it in here, I was just checking something, and I don't see that I did one, and if I didn't, I'll have to do one, or have you write it in.
The ambulance service, I didn't see one.
No.
It's for White River, okay, then we need
Nope.
to, I need to add one, so if you want to just get it name before you sign.
What's the amount?
Hold on. 22. 90 to 16, because it shows up. Well, that's just because I had it in the wrong one, because like I said, that's another one of those where Kathy had two, like same exact, account numbers. So I just went in and fixed that, so I was just gonna run a report now, but that's when I realized I didn't have that check in. So, you
Um,
This is all Sam. Everything here is Sam.
is actually a load of stone that Charlie Smith hauled to, the North Howell Culver job,
Yeah,
so that needs to go on that.
oh, it needs to go on the, grant,
Yeah,
okay,
that one needs to go on, that one month from Kirby's. That he bought.
What's the amount of that?
$308.
What needs to go under what grant?
The culvert grant,
Oh,
So,
I put a note on here on grant. $308.
yeah, we get reimbursed for that.
well,
So
obviously,
I can change that here, but I don't know grant. Could we have it for anything else? It was for ECF. No, but we paid Harvard for 308, it counts, it has to go under the grant. Right, but we also paid ECS for the project.
Okay to pay another contractor for the project?
PA 0791 17320.
That's not.
not for the material.
Material for the,
Yeah. That's all right. Well, I mean, they didn't win the bid. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's won the bid, so I'm just wondering if they're.
yeah, like, why was there an additional load? Right,
Yeah.
it should have been all one contract.
Yeah,
He wanted extra, an extra load of gravel to go in the culvert, to go on the road. I told him to go ahead and get one.
I think he got it from them, so they ordered it.
It was about to finish the project,
With that,
just to finish grade the road.
yeah,
Yeah.
did we have the one from?
What's that?
The one from Charlie's, the order for Charlie Smith.
There's grading in there, yeah, it's already over there.
Is it this one?
Here.
Oh, no.
That's his rich free or.
That's this
That's
one,
right.
that's right here then.
Okay, here it is.
Let's see which one was. Question on health and welfare expenses. It shows we've issued $1,000 to the corner school. When do we usually issue those payments?
They aren't mailed out until December, January, but on full minutes, like what we.
I remember.
That money. They have.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, I just wasn't sure, because it looks, I was just looking to see how we're balancing, and I thought, well, we got some promised money there, but I wasn't sure when. I don't know.
Yep, December, January, or something, December.
Great.
Before next. Well. Probably January. We're gonna have a school payment. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was the one who had a preference?
Oh, you didn't send it yet.
All right, here's all the signed. Does anybody have any other questions on the budget or balance sheet?
Oh,
At this time, thank you, Nancy.
Thank you for the order. And just so you know, I just barely heard Sharon, she's gonna have to cancel for this week, so I won't meet with her again until the 20th, but as soon as I talk to her.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys an email.
That's perfect.
Prior to the next meeting.
Yeah, and I too, I see it's all being put under treasurer
I
training.
don't know where to put it.
Yeah, I think that that's fine, but I do think we might be able to split it. I just don't know where we put it, because I think it's more than training. It's like contractor services, you know, to
We
clean
don't
up.
have a line item, so that was.
It makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it is. what it
I
is.
don't think it-
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, it's, to me, that's similar to like legal fees or things along those lines, because we're doing something to make sure that we're like maximizing the use of our platform. I don't know, I just, in my mind, I feel like that I'd like to see like how much time has she used going through and cleaning up, and how much time has she used partnering and training on the program, or is it kind of all the same thing?
Single invoice, you'll notice,
Yep.
every single invoice, she has very detailed notes about exactly what we did during that session.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think-
have all of those.
I think we should review that and like go through and just kind of do an assessment of what that is, so we can be clear. If there's questions, like this is what we've done, this is what she's done, you know, this is how it's
That's why she
benefited.
did it, in case, you know, you guys are asking, or taxpayers are asking, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Thank
what I can do is just, I've got a folder with all the, invoices where I sell.
Mhm.
I can have those all printed up at that meeting.
Sweet, that'd be great.
And you can have them.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I might even make a little spreadsheet and just say, here's like X amount of time doing this, and this, and so we can have something that's,
Yeah.
it would be very, I think it would be great to have in the town report.
Okay, but I mean, even if you, oh, you don't have them now, I was gonna say, if you looked at these, her invoices, you would see how detailed she is.
Yeah.
Exactly what we're gonna do.
Yeah, because I think it would be helpful for the town report to go through that and just say, this is somebody who we've contracted to help us, and this is what they've done, and here's how it's benefited as a response to the auditors, you know, I think there's a lot there.
I think she did talk to me too about if you're gonna want her to, because she's willing to, like end of year, W-2s, 1099s.
Review.
That with me when it's time,
Yeah.
and then she's also willing to come on board for end of year reports, because like I was talking to Cheryl and Sharon both about it, where everything's been so many things wrong within the QuickBooks system.
Yeah. You can't
It's
trust it.
absolutely not an accurate end of year report to base our tax based on.
Yeah, that would be great if she could make sure we have a clean report. If you work with her, you're solid with it, she's solid with it, and we have a clean report, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Just because I think that that's great. It's gonna make, I think, I think it's gonna make a big impact on,
Mhm.
you know, just clarifying that, you know, if there's questions, here's where we've addressed those questions in last year's. And Roger said he went through they've gone through the audit and they went really quickly. It was pretty easy to do the town. So he said that was done.
They are finished. They're not finished. I mean, Bruce has a lot of questions, and part of that problem is he's doing, oh, that was the other thing. I'm sorry, but I might as well get it all out right now, whatever matters. Bruce has a lot of questions, because he's been going through the delinquent tax.
Yeah.
Account, bank account.
Yep.
And in the beginning of the fiscal year, and I would do a deposit with them, they would just do, if you had 4 checks, they have to do 1 deposit.
Yep.
And then we changed it so that the credit union was putting in every single one.
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
And I tried to explain that to Bruce, but he's got all these questions like from the beginning, like, I don't like it, it's not adding up, so I've told him.
Yeah, that's what you did for me last year. You pulled it all for me, yeah.
The other thing that Sharon, last week we talked about, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, is she said, why is the money for the delinquent taxes being put in a separate checking account or separate account anyway?
Yeah.
And I said, because when I came on board in like 1987 or whatever, as a delinquent tax collector, you were technically then a contractor. You were not an employee of the town.
Yeah.
And so I had to have a separate account. But I don't have to now because I'm an employee.
Yeah.
So we made the decision to just start depositing the delinquent money into the money market, just like we do everything else.
Yeah.
And in past years, Kathy had an account number for every single tax year, and Sharon said, it's too confusing. So we fixed that to 1 account number for current taxes, 1 account number for delinquent taxes. So
yeah,
it may be a little hard for the auditors next year because that transition is coming.
Yeah.
But it's just so much cleaner and easier.
Yeah, it's all under one roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can see it. Yeah, and I think I remember when I was going through, I remember you were able to give me the backup for everything so I could add it up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and I've got
it
all
wasn't
that.
hard to add it.
I've got all that for Bruce,
Yeah.
but I think part of it is just
He's
just
done.
doesn't understand enough, because I've explained a couple of things to him twice, 3 times.
Yeah.
And then, I'll explain it, and he'll meet again and ask me again, and
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I've got pulled everything, and I'm keeping, all the money is now in
Okay.
the money market, but I'm keeping that account open until the auditors are done. So if I have to go back into that account and pull any more information for them, I can, because
You can
once I
pull it.
close it, I can't get in there.
That's right. But that's great. I think that's good. I mean, this is the audit update. We don't have to cover this in old business, but I think it's good because Roger said he thought they were pretty much done with the town. And they want to meet with me to go through on the point with since Bruce is gone until, I don't know, end of December or whenever.
Just for November.
Still for November?
Yep.
Okay, they said it would be gone for a long time, but that's gonna be back soon. That's good. But they had asked me to come in just to look through to see what we needed to look for in the fire department accounts.
Yeah, because Rachel looked at it and, they're required to submit quarterly reports.
Yeah.
She got confused.
Okay.
She didn't know.
Yeah, well, I think too, because in past years we had looked at a different year and this year we asked to match our fiscal year. So I think it would be fine for me to say, this is what we asked for last year. This is what you're looking at. I just want to go through and keep it organized so that they can see what they need to see. So I told Roger, I might just come in with just Roger.
Yeah.
We don't have to have a quorum for me to go through and say, this is what we asked for last year. He just wanted a refresher.
Right.
On what they were looking for, so he could sit down with Rachel and they could.
He said he wasn't involved, I guess.
He didn't, he did not come, it was just Robin and I think on all of the, I think there was like 2 or 3 days where just Robin and I did the fire department. I don't think he was available. He came a lot of the other days for the town, but, between the 2 of them, they split and I came to every meeting last year, every meeting.
Yeah.
That we had. So yeah, that was we ended up, at the end, Robin and I ended up being the only two, I think, through December for a lot of the meetings. So yeah, so that's where we just have to sit down and go, this is what we looked at, this is what we asked for, this is what we needed, ask for this if it's not in there. And then I'll also take them through the report that we put in the town
Yeah.
report, because that also clarifies what we asked for.
Yeah. So when are you meeting with them? Cause I've got the list of what Bruce wanted. I can just bring the paperwork.
It'll probably be after work later this week. I might just come in here with Roger. Is the box underneath your desk?
No, we put it in the hall. Roger wasn't certain when.
So,
He thought he and Rachel would get back together again.
yeah, I don't think Rachel hasn't been available, and she's not available on a Saturday, and we talked about a Saturday. So why don't I check with Roger, and if say like Thursday evening, he can come in here, I'll just say, hey, can you keep the box there? I know Thursday might not be the best time for it if you're not in on Friday though. But I mean, if we can just keep the box somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just the fire department
Yeah.
stuff, so I can just keep the.
Okay. That would be fine. Yeah, if we'd be able to
Just
look at
leave
that.
everything here.
Okay.
Bank
Okay.
account, because I mean, it's all there, it's just, he doesn't understand it.
Yeah. I can't, see, I'm trying to like not technically audit it all. I just
Right.
wanna
Right.
be a reminder of what we did last year is all.
Right,
You know, we can't really do anything new.
right.
So.
Kenny, do you wanna, ask Charlie about how, so when her Julie does his billing, his mom. So do you want to just ask him if Julie can email the invoices to us? That way we don't get in the thing where Charlie just forgets, like, it's probably printing them off and Charlie just forgets to drop them off.
Right,
So maybe if Julie can just, like, if Julie knows that we need them by the Thursday before, I'm pretty confident that she would just email them to us.
he said he did the bill, but I was skeptical.
I mean,
I figured she did, Julie did them, but I
don't wanna get in the middle of it as far as,
well,
I could ask Julie myself, but I don't wanna get in the middle of it.
right,
So I don't know if you wanna ask him or, I mean, honestly, I cannot see Charlie doing those invoices, but maybe.
I can't.
I just really. I think Julie's doing them, but it'd be a lot easier if they could just be emailed. to us.
Yeah.
Cause like I said.
I'll tell him that this is his last time that he's gonna get paid if he doesn't get the bills in on Thursday.
Mhm.
We'll have to wait till the next month.
Called this morning. Yeah, he called, well, I was here today working on it to see if I was gonna put them in. Well, make sure that I got it, yeah. But I mean, like I said, when I emailed back, I don't have access to the Dropbox, and Cheryl doesn't come, she's not here on Fridays.
Well, he called me this morning too, and I pawned him off onto you all, sorry.
So,
No, I
I just wanna get him on board, cause like everybody else now knows,
right,
and I don't wanna have to make the guy wait a month, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Everybody else can get their invoices in. He needs to figure out how to.
right, no, I've been in the same position, I've had to wait a month, we had made other people wait,
Right.
you know, you just have to get it. I'll tell him that this is the last time he sends a bill in on for me before the meeting, I can get paid for it.
This is,
So I'm taking care of this.
you know, then he doesn't even have to stop with it. Cheryl prints it out, she gets when she received it. We
Yeah.
got that. And like I said, I didn't want to go ahead and print all the profit and loss reports because it's just a waste of paper and paper's not cheap.
Right, no, and that's,
And so you guys didn't get a chance to look those over before the meeting because you didn't get them till this morning.
it's extra. It's
So
extra,
extra paper.
and extra time for you two. I mean, not that much time, but it's time. You can get something like that.
You're not trying to have
Yeah.
today, I mean, it might not sound like much.
It's a good invoicing program. Let's put it in there.
Yeah.
Email the invoice right out. You know.
Yeah. I'll articulate that to him.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay,
Are you guys done with me?
we're done.
All right.
Thank you. Done with you. Okay, select board meeting minutes, we have 3 to approve. We need to approve, unless there's any questions, I move to approve the, meeting minutes for September 8th, September 22nd, and October 13th. Are there any questions on those?
Nope.
Anybody second that one? All in favor? Okay, we have so approved the minutes of September 8th, 2025, September 22nd, 2025, and October 13th. All right, going through here. Carol, did you want to talk any more about WebEx training, or do you feel good about it?
I feel good about that. I know you were gonna talk to maybe the other chairs and so.
Yeah,
I didn't get a chance to get to my
bring
bill,
it up
so that was my bad.
for-
I'm gonna wait, I think, but what I'd like to do is find out, you know, as far as,
I got a whole lot to do it now.
as far as that being our permanent solution, I think we need to talk about that. Because there's potential, like if we decide, you know, go with Zoom or something like that, and I think also I'd like to pull together, get on next month's agenda to pull together a proposal for, technology for us to use, and so maybe that's procuring a new microcomputer, having something so that we have it solid here so that you can sit down here with a thing and set up a meeting. And then make it so that we have a login for each board, so that everybody has access to it. So that's what I'd like to talk through a little bit more. And I think that will also determine with input from other boards whether we continue with WebEx. But I think that's another question. I think I've just been like getting stuff done as quickly as possible because I've been on a lot of different tracks. But I think that if we all sit down together, at some point in time and say, is this working for us? Do we think Zoom's a better platform? You know, how could we do this? Is it more user friendly for the other board chairs, for planning commission and cemetery? Would they be more apt to use it? If they had something here that they could log into easily and record their meetings and have other people pipe in. And I think that the buy-in is not so much the recording of the meeting, because I feel like that's been a point of question. But it's more access for people who aren't able to make it in. And I think that's where, well, that's not mandatory. I think that's something that as a town we should embrace, because then it includes more people who may not be able to make it down to the town hall for a meeting. And it's helpful too when we have our Kyles and Sarahs that need to join meetings remotely. So that we're opening that access to everybody who might want to join that meeting remotely. And I know that they've been working when Kyle has something, they do get a Zoom link, but I don't know if it's widely shared to join that meeting via Zoom, or if they're just using that to record and only have Kyle in the meeting. You know what I mean?
Right,
I don't think they're posting it ahead of time for people to join the Zoom meeting.
yeah.
Like he's recording it.
It's on.
Is it on their agenda?
their agenda.
Oh, good, good.
So people can join the meeting.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So they're having that. So that's where maybe we do something. So maybe all of our boards get together for a training session with you and I, and we get through something that we can all use here. And maybe even find a different pedestal setup or something, so that everybody feels comfortable using it. And they don't have to move it around. It's easy to just come in and the thing comes on and, we'll get there.
Yeah, because, all the laws are gonna change here soon too, where even the town meeting is gonna have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, if what we have to do, that's what we have to do. I mean, and we have a medium that we could do that in, and we could have town meeting next year on the WebEx. If we wanted to, we can send that out ahead of time so more people can join the town meeting remotely.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works for voting.
Right,
Good.
right now,
No.
right now, it's gonna remain as it is, but
Yeah.
it may eventually go to absentee ballots
Yeah,
or even Australian.
yeah,
And then we would then be required to have information meeting the night before. And then
yeah.
the voting the next day, just
Yeah.
like they do in Russia.
Because everything goes to Australian ballot, and we don't have to have the town meeting.
Right,
That's sad.
but you have to have the information on it.
Yeah.
People are.
Okay. So more to come on that.
Okay,
Looking down here, no town reappraisal update as of now.
okay. Reappraisal, East Granville is done.
Okay.
He has a few more stragglers here on this side, and then he's gonna be sitting at the computer doing.
Okay. Great. So we did have this point number 8, executive session for contract matter. I don't know if we need to go into executive session for that, but it was to review the fire department contract that we took last
Oh,
meeting.
yeah,
Did you guys have a chance to read it?
that's, I didn't.
I did,
So there's a couple of things here that I wanted to point out that we brought up at last session, and I'm okay if we don't go into executive session, if we don't need to go too deep.
Yeah.
But the things that I wanted to point out on here, vehicles. So it states here in our agreement that any vehicles that are purchased and used by the Granville Volunteer Fire Department are registered to the town and that we own them. And that we need to approve the sale of any vehicle and that we have to approve the purchase of any vehicle. And we have had a vehicle that was purchased.
I don't think we're-
It was last week. It's not here. I brought it from last round. Yeah,
Right, I did.
yeah, I brought it back
Okay.
because we were
Okay,
Yeah.
reviewing. But so that was one point. I can make a copy of this so you can take it. We can discuss this at the next meeting if you want.
Yes, like,
You do still have it?
yes.
So we've got that. So that was a point that I wanted to say that we need to discuss with Dan.
Right, because when you're meeting, you clarify the ownership of the vehicle. They're gonna get bought, if they're gonna get sold, where the
Well-
money's gonna go.
In this, it states that if it's there, it's belongs to the town. So if it's registered to the town of Granville.
Yep.
Basically, that's what the agreement says with any vehicles. They're insured by the town. So that's what I'd like to discuss. I think, in addition to that, funding. I have questions on section 6 funding. It states here that the Granville Volunteer Fire Department may submit a line item budget request in a timely manner to the select board for inclusion within the town budget. And we didn't get it in time to review it last year. So I feel like we're a little bit out of sync with the fire department on making sure that we are appropriately overseeing the budget and funding of the fire department. I don't know if they're submitting quarterly financial reports. I'm not receiving them, but it does say that they'll submit quarterly financial reports and a year-end financial report to the town.
Yeah, they're in the final cabinet.
I think they should supply those to the select board so that we can review those.
Yeah, I agree.
Because we're not receiving those on a regular basis. It also says that they shall reply with accounting requests and cooperate with any review or oversight. And be subject to an annual inspection and audit process. And that's happened, but it's been begrudging. So the 2 years that I've been auditor, it was not, we didn't get regular responses to the audit and there were things that were not submitted. And so this year, there were some things that were clearly stated they needed to provide, and I don't know if we're going to receive those. So those are points that we might need to make note to discuss. Specifically deposit slips, and proof of deposit into the bank accounts. There's an ongoing balance in the bank accounts that can be attributed to what we're putting in there. But there's no ongoing balance that can be attributed to donation funds or third-party donations for the Granville Volunteer Fire Department. So therefore, we don't have any insight during the audit process on what is deposited that is.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really simple, the request, the bank just will print that.
It's not on the deposit slip. It's not on the bank statement. So the money isn't shown going in there. So I don't know if there's a second bank account. I don't know if those aren't making it in there. I asked if there was a cash box and I was told there's not a cash box. So those are the things. There's not a record of deposit. But there's a statement that they're taking in, but there's also a reluctance to provide a list of donations. So there's not a running list of donations. There's nothing that shows where those donations are being deposited.
The bank statement should,
There's nothing on the bank statement.
They're not deposited.
They're not
Yeah,
deposited.
they-
And there's no list of, but there's a statement that they're receiving deposit or donations. There's a reluctance to keep a donation list of who's providing donations to the fire department because they said they want to keep that information confidential.
yeah,
So there's no list of what's been donated. There's no list of what was collected on boot drops, and there's no record of any boot drop being deposited into a bank account that we have access to in the audit. So I don't know if there's a secondary bank account that's managed by the Granville Volunteer Fire Department. There could be, but those records have not been provided.
okay.
So that's the question that I've had.
That's good.
And
They have 4 accounts.
so they may have
Yeah.
only been providing one account.
They have 4 accounts?
Yeah, they have.
Oh
4.
my God, what a pain in the neck that is.
Well, it's similar to what Nancy does.
Well, and that's the thing, when we've asked
They're
for,
all, but they're all labeled.
well, if there's a bank, we ask for bank statements in their stuff. In the past years, we said, give us the bank account that shows where those are going, and we've received one bank account statement each month, and that's one bank account statement is reconciled, and there's no, all it is the start balance and an end balance. There's no activity on deposits, and there's activity of expenses. There's activity of debit use. There's other things being paid out of that account, but there's no record of money going into it. And so when I've asked, where did you get the starting balance? Some of that comes from the town. They said it's a rollover balance. I'm like, well, where's the support for the rollover balance? So we have not received anything that shows where those funds are going.
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
you know, if that's happening in these accounts. This should be very easy to print out, you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
But so we'll talk about it this year, if they provided,
yeah. it's
Information.
all split up.
okay.
Yeah.
And so
Why-
that's.
That's why I think Rachel got confused.
Yeah, well, and I think that's good, as long as we have something that shows that there's,
Yeah.
you know, there's a revenue stream.
Yeah.
That's coming from donations.
Yeah.
So they can say, on this date, we did a boot drop and collected.
Yeah.
$3,000, and here's the record of depositing the boot drop into our bank account, which was not provided in the last 2 years of it. And so that's one question. And then another point that I had on here, I think it's part of the oversight and monitoring. You're on their board, is that correct? Are you part of their board?
No,
So who from the select board has been appointed as a member?
well, Bruce suggested I be a liaison, and I mean, I've gone to 2 meetings just to help out. I don't want another title.
No. So do we have a town appointed representative to sit on their board of directors at present?
You have to advertise the open.
Have we ever had a town appointed representative to sit on their board?
Victoria Crowns was on there for, oh my God, what, 10 years?
Okay.
It's a long time.
But since Vicky, we haven't had anybody appointed to that. Have we opened it to ask for appointees?
Yeah, we did, and then, like Mike said, he went, what, a couple times
Yeah, but he can't vote on the board.
to go.
This is a voting member. He can't vote on the board as a select board member. So even if you went, you can't vote on the board. So that means it has to be an impartial person that can vote on the board.
Yeah.
And help
They'll
with
have to
oversight.
advertise. So,
So there's a lot of things in here that we're not complying with, and I believe it's led to a breakdown in communication, frustration, management of the Granville Volunteer Fire Department. If there's not enough time to manage it, having a proper conduit to ask for resources. I can see it going both ways, but I feel like we're at a point where we need to have a formal, maybe even issue a formal letter from the select board to say, here are some concerns. We want to sit down and iron out these concerns.
Yeah, I think, taking bullet points out of there and highlighting them and making a pretty simple letter, say, these are the bullet points we want to see, try to get cleaned up. And how do we get to that point?
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're,
Is Henry doing more of the treasurer type stuff?
No, he gave that up because Gabby's pregnant. I won't have the time. But he is still.
He's still a member of
and we need to strike that from.
But I'm not putting it in. No,
Yeah.
on here.
It'll be on there. We need to check it. Okay. So now, who's doing the books?
But Daniel is
Okay, until they have another appointee.
until somebody else steps forward.
Okay. Yeah, I think those are the things. So like I said, I don't think we need executive session for that, but I think that it's important for us to note those things and kind of get us back in line with where we should be on this agreement. I think that there is a question of trust that we hear from townspeople. And I want to make sure that people trust the fire department. And that comes from doing things by the book, that comes from being transparent.
Yeah.
And having regular dialogues about these things and being able to have hard conversations with each other. If we have a question and if Dan has a question, we can.
Well,
direction.
what I see is obviously that's all volunteer, and this outline needs to be clear, easy to get done, and not create cut points because it's all volunteer.
Yeah.
And we've got an agreement, but it needs to be something that's manageable. That whether it's twice or three times, say 4 times a year.
Yeah.
They just, to request statements is easy,
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
right? You just call the bank and say, send me statement for the first 3 months and the 6 months, and then here it is.
Yeah.
And that way someone doesn't have to create a spreadsheet.
That's right. They don't have to.
Right. Right. Make it simple. So let's say creating an outline to make sure this just doesn't overwhelm someone. So all of a sudden our partner does see ya.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, that too is I don't think that it's been that. I think that there's been reasonable requests for a couple of years on
yeah.
bank statements
Yeah.
to justify deposits.
Well, yeah, I mean, it should be pretty simple. It's like just a telephone call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think too, on the other side of it is, if there's an apprehension to share information, that creates concern.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's been an apprehension to share information, whether it be the people who donate to the fire department. I understand keeping anonymity, but keeping a line item of the amounts.
There should be, donation person one.
Yeah.
And number 3, they don't have to say from.
That's right.
Right.
I would say, if somebody comes in here to a select board meeting and says, what the hell's going on with the fire department? I've been given money every month and we have no record of it. We don't know who they are. And they want an accounting from the select board and the town as to what's been going on with their money. If we don't even know that they're a donor, we can't we're like, I'm sorry, we didn't even know you're a donor. And then how does that make them feel? Like, we don't even know that they're donating to our fire department.
Right. Well, usually, if someone's donating any sum of money, there should be an annual letter thanking them.
I agree with that. And that was declined from the fire department last year. I've asked them for 2 years to do a thank you letter or some type of a donation letter. And they said, we don't have to do it. we're 501(c)(3), we don't have to do it because we don't take in enough money. And I said, it's a nice gesture, but they said they wouldn't do
Right,
it.
Yeah,
even
like
if it
someone's-
was just a generic
You get,
blanket.
yeah, generic blanket letter that, someone signs.
Thank you for all
And,
the-
and it can, and that can go to someone that's, whatever, they're spending, more than, whatever, some amount of money
For
every year.
$100
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Yeah, and we don't,
That's what it does, is that encourages more to come.
it does.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And I think that was a point that we had shared 2 years ago in the audit. Robin and I both suggested it, both from the kindness perspective, but also for tax record. So that somebody has some type of donation like we get from any other 501(c)(3) organization.
Mhm.
We were told that that wasn't going to happen and that they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, we do a corner school.
Yeah.
I think actually, doesn't matter, with some amount, they all get a letter.
Yeah, $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think those are things that I think we should,
Mhm.
talk about. Because I think it's, it's a 501(c)(3) organization, but it's our town's fire department, volunteer fire department. And we want to make sure that we're supporting the volunteers and we want to make sure that people
Yeah.
feel good about their
Well,
donation.
it would make me feel good if I knew where I'm getting was going.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Well, what happens is when you're,
You know what is being spent on, like you can give an annual letter that says, thank you for your donation. Your donations this year helped us purchase X and X and X, so something that can.
Yeah,
make them
you know,
feel good.
if we're about to borrow money or get, grants, just some money, they're gonna wanna see some sort of financials.
Yeah,
And,
Right, otherwise they're not, you're just gonna deny it if you can't have. You gotta have any proof of your bank and your
right,
cash statement and all, and your income and all that, they're just,
yeah,
they're not gonna give you any money.
and I don't know how much it is. I mean, it could be $5,000 a year, it could be 100,000. I don't know, because there was no list and there's no
yeah,
information. So that's where I don't even know what we're talking about. But so yeah, I don't want to.
So I think we'll put that in the executive session at a later date. Is that what you wanna do?
No, I don't think we need to have an executive session. I think
No.
if we do a letter from the select board, we
yeah,
can bring it to the next meeting, agree on it,
yes,
or even circulate it and then agree on it. And that's something that we could send just to give a bullet point overview, say, hey,
that's right.
reading through our agreement,
Yeah.
there are some things that have gone to the wayside. We want to bring this back in alignment to make sure that we're
Yep.
doing our duty to the town, of our oversight of the fire department as a select board, to make sure that we're here as a support conduit
Mhm.
for things that are needed. And if we're not, and we're nudged out of it, we're not going to know what's needed. We need to build the dialogue and build trust so that we can
Yeah.
hit a point where,
Transparency.
transparency and understanding. So that we don't also, so that we're not blindsided by things. I got an angry email from Will about the purchase of a fire truck that I didn't know anything about.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a tough thing, and he was very curt and very angry that we wouldn't know about that. Why wouldn't we know about that? Why wasn't this in a meeting? I said, well, our discussion about it was in a meeting, but we didn't ever approve or deny anything. And then his response was, well, why aren't you doing your job? And that's uncomfortable from William Brokoff.
Oh,
So, yeah. But I think he talked with Dan and found out about what was going on and whatever after the fact. But that was his initial response, was to send me an email
yeah,
about something I didn't know about
right.
and that we didn't approve.
Mhm.
So
We didn't know he bought a fire truck.
we didn't know he bought a fire truck.
Yeah.
And he was
I know we
asking
had
about
talked
the
about buying a fire truck. But
We still don't know he bought a fire truck. We have no information on it.
we had discussed options about trying to get one in the service,
Right.
you know.
That was the direction that
That we gave them.
we gave him.
So like I said, I don't mind this being on the record because I think we need to
Yeah.
discuss it, and I would.
Transparency is transparency.
He comes in the future and chats with us about it, and there are people who volunteer to the fire department that will be part of the conversation. To further do this, there's been a couple of new guys over there,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, routinely. They were gonna dissect a car, it's pulled out there, I don't know if they're gonna do it now.
Hmm.
But the car's out there ready to dissect.
Yeah.
It's ready to dissect.
Yeah.
They have enough people the other day, I guess.
Oh, no, they were gonna do it
So many people
Saturday morning.
Dissect the car.
Yeah, they pulled it out Saturday morning and then we figured that they were gonna put it off until Tuesday, maybe, you know, sometimes they do it on a Tuesday evening, but.
They should part it out. It's better than some press they're gonna go on down.
Make some money on it.
Car.
It is,
It
it's
just needs a, what do people steal?
Catalytic converter, yeah, super
All
loud,
it needs.
Somebody stole a Cadillac converter on.
yeah,
Yep.
it's really loud.
Runs like a top, I guess.
It does, yeah, they've been pulling it around, but it's so loud.
Huh? You just. You better put it around town with
You
that.
were trying to get it, weren't you? Yeah, he was
No, I wasn't trying to get it.
calling me saying, I'm gonna steal this car over here, and I was
No,
like,
no,
no.
They better put the catalytic converter in it, sell it, and making $3,000.
6 feet.
And then haul-
On that, I don't know how many miles is on it, but you could probably get
I don't
6
know
grand.
either.
Up by Julie Brown's, there's 3 or 4 junks in the bushes up there.
They probably don't have Cadillac converters either.
All you have to-
No, they don't, but you know,
They got it from,
Yeah. Yeah,
whoever they got it from, I guess, somebody has to give up some money, and it's only like a few hundred.
They probably donated it, maybe. I don't know. I just.
I don't know how
Yeah.
it works.
that was great. It's fun to watch them over there, tearing stuff up. so.
Yep.
Okay, I think that's,
So in the meantime, you want me to do a little poster for the representative?
we should, I think that we should see it.
At least do our part.
We should do our part. I think it's an appointee, so I'd like to know if somebody's interested. We'd like to have them come here so we can appoint them. It's not something that we technically can do as a, to be a voting member, but it would be great to have an objective voting member on their board.
Right.
And I think if people know that that's something that we should be having, somebody will step up to do it. Maybe Will would step up to do it, you know, I know he does a lot, but maybe it's one more thing he could add in his another feather in his cap, you know. We'll see.
I volunteer for it.
Let's just appoint him. Let's just appoint him and we'll tell him later. Yeah.
it's like town meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
Appoint him.
It's a point of.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good with that. So I'll work on drafting a letter that goes along with that. In the meantime, read through and see if there's any points you would want to add, or take away or redefine, you know, I just,
Yep.
want to go through that and move. And then road commissioner update.
You could give the fire truck that's sitting outside and snow, you're using it for fire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have they put a plywood on thing?
Yeah.
So there's,
Yeah.
that's the day, there's an online thing in Facebook and they're getting stupid money for that same vehicle, so.
Yeah.
That was posted.
Yeah, it's on,
Did it go online?
yeah, it's online.
Okay.
Logan posted it on Facebook,
Good.
and they're getting stupid offers for it. Now people want just the chassis, they don't want, no, they
Yeah.
want the body, they don't want the chassis.
Yeah.
But don't, you know,
Yeah.
Or they're offering them really stupid money, and it's worth them what?
Yeah.
What are they offering?
Free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
So
you could get more scrap.
they're like, right,
Yeah, I know there's an online site and then this,
yeah, it's on that online fire.
Fighter
Well,
thing,
yeah,
yeah.
but they're,
Are they? They're asking stupid money for them or they're selling them?
they're selling, like that truck would be listed for probably, I guess, in the 40s.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said.
'Cause it's all-wheel drive. Yeah.
Okay.
So did he,
I don't know, he didn't know if there was a minimum price in there. He was gonna check it.
yeah, you can't just list it as just for sale. There's a site, for just fire department equipment. And And that's what you gotta do. And, anyway. Yeah, and the stuff is, even though it's older, the listings are very high. So, I think that we bought that truck, it was like $70,000. Cause that was FEMA money. In lieu
That one
of,
was FEMA.
that was in lieu of Buffalo Hill. And, but the numbers that I'm seeing on this site, they're extremely high for what they're doing is they're doing that and they're expecting towns to just, towns are writing large checks for this stuff. It's not, I think it's they're too high, but
So, see, on auction sites, every once in a while, auctions international towns are selling their equipment for different. I've been watching those plow trucks. And they were going for under 20,000
right,
for honest auctions international. And fairly new trucks in the 06 range. So I don't know for what is that, a 90s, early 90s truck? 96 or something maybe. I wouldn't expect it to go for terrible.
I thought the estimate was like 15 to 20.
Yeah.
yeah, that
Pretty sure
it should sell for that. Because it's full drive, it has more value. This things are available all day long, like a pump truck that says all day long are for sale. But because it's full drive, it's a unique application.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yes. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully we can get.
20 grand. Started out.
Yeah. So sand pile. I think we started talking about sand pile
Yeah.
before we started the meeting.
yeah,
I did it over.
Did you write on something? Back?
in the back or something.
Did you write on the back of the?
There's a chicken scratch.
Okay.
Approximately, that's not exactly where we're at, I think,
31,
on the sand, on the number.
31, 654. So far on the sand.
Spent.
Spent?
Spent on the sand.
That's enough, I think.
I think so. I think we should hold. I'm good on holding. I think when we were talking before, I said I think we should hold.
Yes.
I look at it and just living next door to the sand piles for so long, I feel like it's a good sand pile.
Good sand pile.
I feel like it's a good sand pile.
Good sandbox.
Over there with my dog all the time. He
Yeah.
tries to see like if something goes over there and uses it as a,
Within the ridge of the building,
yeah.
like one time.
Yeah. Well, and like there's animals that constantly use the sand pile as their bathroom. And so like my dog he's got hound in him, so he's just over there like trying to find out what's been over there,
Yeah.
We walk over
Giant
there.
cat.
There's a lot of big cats over there. There really are a lot. We've got a bobcat that's around all the time.
I
don't know if it's
measured
luck.
it up and I didn't as best I could,
I think
and I don't, there's not as much as I would like to see there, but that is a big number.
yeah.
And we don't have that in the budget for that amount. I don't know where that's gonna, the highway surplus or something, but
We're part of that.
That's
we're gonna
part
have to
of
use some of that.
the surplus. That's included in our budget.
31,650 or something like that.
We don't have a surplus. So I think that's something we need to remember. We don't have a surplus this year. We use the
Right.
surplus as our core budget. So we reduced the highway budget.
Yeah, we're
Instead of having a highway budget and a surplus on top of it, we reduced the highway budget so that it would not have as much of an impact on taxpayer.
Yeah, we only have 42 5,000 left in highway service.
And that's going forward. So we're gonna have, we'll end up taking money out of something else or going over. With all of the rest of the,
Well, we have some in the budget, in the more sand, right? We don't have trucking anymore. In that line item.
no, but we went high on trucking too. I mean, we've gone high on.
It was like 20, was it like 24, 25 that we,
Yeah.
for that initially?
But
I don't,
It was like half and half.
when it came from a different vendor, it was a lot closer, so the trucking was a lot less.
This is everything.
winter sand, we only had 10,000 in there. And
Yeah, we knew it, we only had 10,000. Like I remember us only having.
it's right here on
Yeah,
profit and loss.
yeah.
And we've spent 17,
One,
six,
2, 1. That's what
We
we-
spent what?
17,6 on sand.
Yeah, we have 15, according to this, we have 15,000 left. Right?
You got 31 grand there?
Mhm.
She just said 17.6.
Yeah, winter sand, the line item for winter sand.
But we is 1,000. Or 10,000, right?
That's what we budgeted for, but we have spent 17,676.
Sand and trucking?
The trucking is separate.
Yeah, I thought.
We
we
finished.
got the numbers.
For trucking, we only had a budget of 5,000, we spent $51,204.50.
51,000.
So we found out.
That's for the roads. That's
That's for gravel.
gravel too.
That was for the gravel project, but
Well, I guess we're getting
instead of that, we also use highway surplus money for.
Hmm,
That's why we're down to 42,000 left.
that's right.
So if you,
Highway surplus is
Yeah.
not on top of these numbers anymore.
right. Over.
It's part of
It's
these numbers.
separate.
So,
So if you want Nancy to reduce those expenses for those two items, you have to direct her to redirect those expenses towards the highway surplus fund.
and so the 17,000 is just sand? Yeah, don't,
Item winter sand.
guess what I'm gonna, what was the trucking? Just the winter.
but it was just short, I think it was like 1150 something.
Yeah, she said it earlier. Meeting.
It was like 1150 something for the, if we can find it.
Well, we have money.
The text she sent me.
Well, this is, I mean, looking at this. We really are. Because of what we spent on summer roads. Right?
Yeah.
And what we haven't spent on winter roads, I mean, we're balanced. So we don't have any more money there. And if we look down over general roads, I mean, it's only about 15,000 that we have left and that.
So this is what I've got for the yardage and plus another 4 loads on 15.5 yards. So it was like 1150 something of tons.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Times
1275. It's-
14,662.
Yeah, 14,662 or 15.
yeah.
was. I don't remember the exact number for the yardage on the sand, but or the tonnage. Like, anyways,
Well, if you look over, I think bottom line, general roads. We are near our budget for these.
well, that's why I was asking you all the other day if we need to cut it down.
I don't,
Didn't get
yes,
barbecued over
Marissa stopped now,
it. On the
stop now. Email.
Yeah.
Paul, and then he called me and said, I think you should stop.
So we have enough sand,
We have enough sand. It looks good over there.
yes.
I eyeballed it.
How much is there? Bunch of tons, right?
There's bunch. There's tons and tons.
Well, I'll articulate that to Charlie, to go spring on the thing out.
Yeah.
Hills and corners,
What's the corner?
Lots of all.
lots of times. That's right. It should be pretty standard.
Okay. East Granville wouldn't
All
have
right.
this contract.
Fire. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
With something
That's
like a
where
plan-
that's your 17.
Yeah.
Anyways. Got you in the.
I think the only other thing on the agenda is the East Granville winter maintenance contract discussion and approval. Do we need to approve that?
Well, the question is, and I gave you a copy of his email from Brad.
Dickney, yep.
He said that he would like to have the contract increased by $500 for the year, which would increase it $125 per pay period. He gets paid, I think, 4 times. And that's due to increase in sand and gas prices.
And so he gets his own sand over there.
Yes, he gets his own sand from, I don't know.
Tucker probably, I would think, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Who sells sand?
Right, yeah, I don't know either, but he gets his own thing and puts it down, and he only plows Hamley Road, which is half mile.
Maybe a half mile.
We have a total?
$5,000.
So it'd be a $5,000 contract instead of 4,500.
It's fine.
We have a budget for it.
Cheap enough.
What's over here?
Well,
You take it out of the access bar.
This is a budget for it.
yeah,
Granville,
Granville, 3,500.
4,500. And he's asking now for the increase in budget? What do we have? Town meeting,
People,
town meeting.
the same, but he's only gonna get 40. He will be over budget by the 500.
Yeah,
So I said.
we're gonna have to probably find more money for the road budget anyway. I'm figuring. There won't be a need, but you think I'm okay with that. What do you think? 5,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
we'll just have to.
And move to remove the amount of $5,000 East Granville list. All in favor? All right, it's passed. $5,000 is fine for Brett to do that.
Okay.
Make a note of it and put it in the new budget.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You write it down here. East Granville Road.
$35,000 for sand for West Granville.
All right. Okay, I think that's everything. I think items for next agenda will be, like I said, I think we'll draft a letter and we'll agree on some
Yep.
conversation points with the Granville Volunteer Fire Department. And we'll also, for the next agenda, have a 5:30 start time or 5:45 start time to allow 15 minutes to half an hour for open forum for that flood regulations update,
December
December 8th.
8th.
So we'll start a little bit early.
That'll be a public hearing.
Public hearing at 5:45. And then I don't suppose that'll go more than 15 minutes. And then we'll be able to start on time.
Then do you want to start discussing more formally? I can't even talk now. The budget,
Yes,
because we gotta get going on.
Yeah.
meeting.
yep, for next year. Yeah, I think that we can have a formal budget discussion of where we have shortfalls and where we think we're gonna need to increase. I think we also, knowing that, well, just to clarify, the appraisals are gonna affect next year's tax rates, correct?
Yes.
So that's gonna increase town revenue. Maybe, if the appraisals go up and they increase town revenue, so that's what I'm thinking.
We'll see.
Yeah, more than likely, it'll impact town revenue.
Budget.
Yeah.
Whatever budget is.
Yeah.
We'll offset the tax rate to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, next year is gonna be I wonder about schools too. So, I mean, there's a lot of questions about what next year looks like. We were able to shield impact this past year, which was great.
Right. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have the fallback surplus funds anymore in the highway, so you really gotta.
Yep.
Figure that out.
Make it
not
clean.
go Crazy.
The clear budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, wherever we're having cost overruns, I'm working with Nancy on where we can adjust
Okay.
things.
Lots of we-
After your discussion with Mark, sorry, he's increased.
Yes, I saw that. Because that's his takeaway was,
Yes, do more.
what if he did more hours so he could cover more of our expectations of traffic control and our needs? And I think that that's fine. And if that's what he comes in with, then we'll address that. I think that we also, it would be a good exercise for us to see what the cost difference would be if we had Addison County Sheriff cover for the current amount of hours. Because if it costs the same, then it's something else to talk about. If it's less expensive to have that, we can guarantee that coverage. That takes away some of the other expenses that might come through that are unexpected. So that's just, looking at that. I just want to make sure we're doing the right thing for the town.
Right.
Um,
And the other thing I was gonna say, we're getting judicial fines reimbursement.
mhm.
Those aren't coming in from Mark issuing tickets. Those are coming in from the state police issuing tickets.
Yeah,
And we've been getting in anywhere from $200 to $500 a month.
from the state police. And we could be getting that if Mark were doing it, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not getting those because Mark hasn't been able to do the coverage.
It's I heard it's when Mark sends a ticket in, does it have to go through the state police?
No, it has to. He has to call it in on the radio to get all the information to fill it out, but he sends it in to the court.
Addison County
Or-
Court?
No,
Oh, no?
it, wherever he picks them up.
Okay.
Yeah, traffic court, is that Windsor?
Ours would be Addison.
That isn't where traffic court is.
Oh, I don't
They
know.
have a separate.
Oh, I didn't know
traffic
that. I
court.
haven't gotten a ticket, so.
Yeah, there's some traffic court,
Yeah,
it's in Windsor.
okay.
But then they ship the money to the Vermont Criminal Justice Agency.
Okay, and then we get it
forward
back.
money to us.
So
I
there's,
saw him writing a ticket the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah, somebody
Yeah.
pulled over.
right,
Good.
it might have been a warning,
yeah,
but if you read his report, that he submits once a month, he'll say how will be issued the ticket or not.
Yeah, so I think
Issue it.
that's where too, we don't,
Didn't issue any.
I don't want to look at it as a revenue opportunity, so I hate saying that, but there's so many people that speed down the road. We need to,
Those costs.
yeah, because there's a lot of speeders.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an easy road to speed on. I have to put myself in check when I hit the 40.
Yep. I
You
do
know,
too.
I'm constantly like, ooh, better, I'm in the 40, you know, let my foot off that gas, you know, so, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause-
especially heading north from Hancock.
Yeah.
It's easy to just.
Yeah.
continue.
I have to let, like, cause the big dog Charlie, Margot's dog
Oh,
down there,
yep.
I have to remember, oh, this is Charlie's yard. We gotta slow down for Charlie, like, I do that, like, consciously in my head, I'm
Yeah.
like, gotta slow down for Charlie.
Dogs in the neighborhood.
Dogs in the neighborhood, yeah, if I'm going the other way, it's like the same thing, I'm like, oh, there's gonna be dogs.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
they have fly in my house.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a white Subaru that comes in, he's doing at least 40-45.
Maybe we should send them up there for,
Actually, I wanted to move the sign up there, like the calls in
Yeah.
like a week.
that'd be great. Yeah, there's a lot of people who take that back road.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming from Rochester and that's their.
Yeah.
yeah, I went up around there with the other thing. I went around there with my tractor and removed all the storm trees out
Oh, yeah, I was gonna see that.
That's nice.
That's a good idea.
after the, and a lot of the ones that have been there for 2 years, you know, ditches and things.
That's nice.
So,
Yeah, you have grapple on it? Yeah, that's good.
Did you use the tree?
no,
That you just moved up?
that's from over the bank.
Mhm.
Do you want?
No, I just was wondering if you. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. We're,
it's bad. I didn't get around to send my bills either.
yeah,
Oh,
we're missing the road signs, the no follow sign at the very end.
I went looking for that the same day.
Someone stole it.
hmm.
Yeah, do we have that downstairs?
There's another one in the basement.
I
Okay,
think so.
then at the top of post office in North Hollow, that's gone as well.
Yeah, that's been gone for a long time.
Yeah, I know, Chris Millard made a wooden one for a while and that's gone too. Someone took that or it's tipped over.
We got a bunch of signs for someone to send to the ski.
Yeah.
No follow.
Yeah,
If we need any
Post office.
engraved wooden signs, let me know. I can make them.
yeah.
Well, no, we have to use.
Yeah, I'm just saying, for anything
All
else.
screwed up.
If there's anything else we could use an engraved wooden sign for,
I don't know, but Bruce mistakenly ordered the, whole bunch of them from the prison and then we didn't pick them up.
Right.
I don't know, they probably had threw them all away now, but
Hmm.
there was
Yeah,
a
they
whole,
shuttered their doors.
Mm.
a whole set that he had called them and asked them what the price was or something. And they called back a couple weeks later, so your signs are ready.
Yeah, right, we already ordered them from L&D.
What prison?
Wow.
I don't know, I wasn't there.
Newport.
Yeah,
Or Bruce, yeah.
I don't know where you was ordering them from, but.
Alright.
yeah, yeah, he told me to call the prison in Newport, so I did. The guy did. The
So,
guy just did them. And I wanted a quote. He printed them up and.
Yeah, they don't have much to do up there. Even signs.
So, and then he goes, well, we're closing. till-"
I always gonna charge us double if you call them again.
Well, they were double,
Uh,
plus we had to go pick them up.
The price was double?
Yeah, you double. And we're at three.
yeah, yeah, you labor.
we've got less people on the updated delinquent tax list. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, really?
It looks like we brought down the number of people. Yep. Yeah. Otherwise, we good to break?
Yes,
Okay, move to adjourn.
yes, and all those in favor.
Aye. All right, adjournment.